Beer. Beer. Bong.
Battle
Beer.
axe.
Bong.
Battle
Beer.
axe.
Bong.
Battle axe.
Beers, bongs, and battle axes. Beers, bongs, and battle axes.
Battle axe.
Beers, bongs, and battle axes.
Battle axe.
Beers, bongs, and battle axes.
I get cerebral palsy from all this.
So are you trying to insinuate that I'm trying to kill you, Tyler?
Yes.
Oh. All right, well, I guess that makes a great opening for another Beers, Bongs, and Battle Axes.
There we are.
Thanks for
Established
joining
years.
us.
Hello.
I'm Mike, joined with Tyler and somebody who's been missing for a bit.
It's me, RJ. I'm back. It's been a couple podcasts.
It'd been a solid couple.
3 or 4.
Yeah, I'd say
like
so.
But I've returned. So what
Yeah.
are we discussing today, folks?
Well, we're beginning the end of our year by talking about some of the best shit that came out this year. This week we're going to be talking about our favorite video games of 2019, and then the next couple weeks we're going to talk about our favorite horror movies and our favorite movies in general from the year.
Good stuff coming up. Good stuff.
We picked horror because you, like us, are just horror.
Yeah,
horror
I mean,
fanatics, so it just makes
I
sense.
go to sleep to horror a lot of the time.
It just makes sense we talk about it.
It's
And
just
Nicole,
like-
too, so yeah, we were trying to get her on that one, too.
So yeah, that's why I decided to make this video game one since she's out in
Perfect.
Oklahoma. I wanted her to be here for the
For
other
the
two.
next one?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be fun.
And I'd like to think more on that one and really have some
Oh yeah,
detailed thoughts.
those are going to be longer ones too because we're just going with a couple games for each of us. I think this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you...
Yeah.
who-
Honestly, compared to last year, this year really wasn't
that's
that
just,
great
That's
video
just the
game
thing. I
wise.
kept thinking of games, and I'm like, oh no, wait, that was last year. Oh no, wait, that was last year. And it was. Do you want to start?
I think I'll let Tyler start because I'm getting ready to pour myself a tequila shot.
Oh, fuck. I was going to let you start because I was going to do a tequila shot.
All right, RJ, you start. Talk about one of
All right,
your
I'll go
games
ahead and
first, and me and
start
Tyler will do some
off.
tequila shots.
So does it matter if we go out of order?
I was going to do just like a couple honorable mentions. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
there's no
just-
particular
Okay,
order.
no particular nothing.
I'll start off
Whatever
with
tickled your testes this year.
I will start off with Mortal Kombat 11, which was one game that I was the most excited for. I love Mortal Kombat, always have. I mean, I played the shit out of 10, had all the characters, everything. Yeah, so I think it was a huge improvement on the last one, first of all. The mechanics feel better. The...
Sorry, I just had a quick question.
Mike's raising his hand.
Was the last one Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat XL? I'm not sure what the
Okay,
difference
it's the
between those
same
two
game. It's the
games.
same game.
They were going Roman numerals, so it's like...
But
yeah.
10 would just be X.
No, XL, they're...
XL meant like the extra large edition.
Yeah.
That's
It is-
dumb.
It is.
Yeah.
Because X,
Wasn't great.
I mean,
for me.
XI would be 11,
Yeah,
but...
no. So no, yeah, X and XL is XL is the edition I have. It's because it has all the characters.
That's what, the Ultimate Edition, basically?
Yeah, it's
Basically,
fucking
like
dumb.
game of the year.
It's
kinda.
Gotcha.
stupid. It's
Yeah.
stupid. So they're gonna have like 11 XL, I bet. Anyway, but yeah,
Hands down.
so I thought it was a great improvement. Honestly, the story, like the story mode, was amazing. It's not really a spoiler, but it's basically Endgame, but with Mortal Kombat characters.
It's a bloody end game.
Yeah, but not in like, oh, they ripped them off. It was like they did their own version of it, and it was really intriguing. Like, I enjoyed the fighting part of it, but the story really got me going. Like, the last couple of stories I remember, I was like, you got through it, but it was just like, yeah, they're just kind of filler story.
I know he's gonna go, but I just want to say not to take away from Endgame because I fucking love that movie.
Right.
But the time travel thing made more sense in Mortal
It
Kombat.
did. It made much more sense. It was,
Yeah.
and because they've kind of done it well before. So they
Yeah.
know what they're-
Well, and that's what because it's a fuck it spoils whatever. It's an elder god that can time travel, and she does all this. And it just makes more sense in that realm because it's all magic and sorcery and stuff. So
It requires less explanation when it's magic and not science.
Exactly.
one of the or you want to go ahead first?
Well, my question was just going to be, is the whole time travel aspect of it, why, if I remember correctly, the marketing focused so heavily on like showing you modern day Scorpion fighting Mortal Kombat 1 area Scorpion, and same with Sub-Zero and all the classic characters?
That was huge. That was like basically the whole story. Is like there was all sorts of different confrontations between the different versions of each other.
It was very fan servicey.
Yeah,
it was
but
awesome.
now that I think about that, that does kind of fuck with the whole time travel rule of you can't interact with your other self.
Well, I'm
I
pretty
honestly
sure
don't think
they
they gave a
ignored
fuck.
that.
No, yeah, so
Yeah.
you really want to go down
No, it
that
does.
rabbit hole.
That's what I'm saying. It makes more sense in Mortal Kombat, but then
It's
Avengers made it more
believable.
Right. I guess if you want to put it that way.
One of the hardest like boss fights ever. What's her?
Chronica,
yeah.
the end boss for that game.
It's fucking
Time
insane.
Travel Lady?
If you
Yeah.
play it on the hardest difficulty, it is literally impossible. Like you have to trigger like an infinite combo where you corner her.
Yeah.
And you just keep it going for like 10 minutes, and then you can finally take her down.
And I will say, as far as she's God, even just trying to unlock every character. Because that's where I stopped. Because I was trying to get the endings for every character in arcade.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I have to fight this bitch one more goddamn time.
It is so annoying. And it's basically 3 rounds because like you take out the first round, and then the second round she like almost dies, and then she like comes back, and then when you do that, you go into then you finally kill her, and then you go into like this alternate weird universe thing, and you have to kill her one more time. It's just like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So yeah, as opposed to with Shinnok in the last one, like. He was hard, like you had to, but it wasn't like impossible.
Nobody up until her has topped Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Like Shao Kahn was a cheap, and everybody knows this. Like he's just designed to be cheap.
Yep.
And he sucks,
Unfair.
and he's impossible to beat, especially if you're going on the harder difficulties.
Yep.
But with her, that's a different kind of rage.
Because
man.
there's all the fucking shit. Like well, she'll just randomly morph into another character.
That's the thing. Like you break her down, you get her past that health point to do the level transition, but before that happens, you have to fight a clone of another fucking fighter.
Yeah, and they have a full health bar.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
It's a pain in the ass, and I'll give them kudos.
No, that's not a complaint at all. It was like it's frustrating as hell, but it was really
No,
good.
it's nice to see everything's not easy mode these days. Yeah.
So I guess not too much more to say other than that. I haven't.
Okay, I just want to say one
Go
more
ahead.
thing. As far as the fan service shit goes for that game, because when I was playing through 10, they introduced Kotal Khan, who's the new ruler of the Netherrealm.
What did
Or
he
Outworld, my bad.
take over Shao Kahn's?
He took over Shao Kahn. But I was like, man, because they're both built the same, and like Kotal Khan's like this big Aztec dude. And I was like, man, it'd be really fucking cool if we could see a fight between those two, but Shao Kahn's dead, spoiler. But then in the new game, that's like one of the first fucking things that happens. Shao Kahn comes back and they just fucking duke it out, and you're like,
Come again!
Boner! It's just...
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, I haven't played any of the new DLC characters because they're all paid, and I'm just waiting for like the season pass to come through. We can just get all of them at once.
That's fair. Well, if you get the season pass, don't you get them automatically?
Yeah, or I phrased that wrongly. I'm waiting for the season pass to go on sale.
Oh,
that I can,
okay. That makes more sense.
Because I just bought the regular edition when it came out.
So did I. Yeah.
Which I kind of regret. It was like $40 extra. I'm like, I'm not paying $40 for characters.
Well, and they're characters that have already been in. Well, minus Terminator and Spawn.
Yeah, it was Terminator.
But they added
Joker.
Yeah, I didn't.
Wasn't it the Leto version of Joker?
No, not even.
It was kind of a
It was like it was
different take on him.
Was it 10 that did the Leto version of Joker?
No,
I swear
nobody
a
did
fighting
Leto.
game added a DLC of Leto version
Not that
of
I know
Joker.
of.
Not that I
Am I
recall.
having a stroke right now?
Injustice might have done a skin for him or something.
I think Injustice 2
that's
did.
what it
Okay.
probably
Yeah,
was.
yep, that's what. And that wasn't even this year. God, my.
No,
I have
Injustice 2
Alzheimer's.
it was last year. Shit, that was like the back end of last year.
But yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah,
That's exactly what I was thinking of, though.
pretty much all I got to say about that. Really enjoyed it.
that was a good choice though.
I've recently transitioned into using an Elite controller, and that game has been like, holy shit, I can go places with this.
Yeah.
Like you get a good.
Fuck those Elite controllers, man.
There's dude. My coworker. He was asking me if he should convert, and he basically asked me. He's like, well, you know, I should borrow. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna let you borrow my controller, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You're going to want to buy one. Like, there's nothing. Like, once you start using them, there's no going back. It's like you pick up a regular Xbox controller and you're like, oh, a baby toy. You know, it just doesn't feel right anymore. I know it sounds snobby as fuck. but it's just-
old and don't understand the future.
It's just, you know,
They're not that different. It's just it adds just a few extra ones on the bottom.
you got 4 little paddles, and then you can program those to be any buttons you want. And
Yeah,
it's
but then
just-
I have to use these fingers, which are basically useless on my hands.
Well, that
Really?
just sounds like a personal.
Yeah, my pinky and my ring finger are basically useless on both hands. I'm not a dexterous person by any stretch of the
Oh, I
imagination.
thought it was because of like a nerve damage thing or something.
I wish.
Yeah.
Then I'd have an excuse.
'Cause I almost felt bad for a second.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
if it was something like that, then I'd have an excuse. But no, it's just these untalented, stupid hands.
Stupid. Why
So,
don't you?
I guess we could transition
I have what my
into
old music teacher, Mrs. Mellinger, used to call stupid fingers.
stupid fingers.
Sorry, I had to work in a Futurama.
Oh no, you're
gag.
good. You're good. I guess we could transition to my next game, which is one you'll talk about much more than I will, and that's Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah, whoa,
So
yeah, whoa.
I'll be honest, like I've played the Kingdom Hearts games before, but I've never been like super hardcore into them. But like when this one came out, I was like, I got back into it, played through as much of the first one as I could, but didn't have enough time to finish it, and then started this one up, and I like it. I do like it, but the story is so goddamn confusing, and there were parts of it where it would take me out. And I would be like, sitting there focusing, like trying to get into the story, and then there'd just be a 5-minute cutscene where I was like sitting there, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, who was that? Who were they talking about? What were they doing? And it's not really a bash on like the game itself. It's just that lore is so on a different level of just. We were talking about it yesterday. Like, you've played it longer than any of us, and you still have trouble understanding it.
Oh yeah, nobody understands the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and people who tell you that they do understand it are fucking lying to you.
No, it's just
That game is a perfect example of they made a video game, it got way more successful than they ever thought it would.
Well,
and it's
I'm
like, well, we got to
still-
keep the series going.
Listen, I'm only almost through the
Like
first one.
3/4 through the first one, and
I'm
he has no
still
idea what's going
very
on.
much under the impression that just a bunch of execs from Square Enix and a bunch of execs from Disney got together at a party by chance.
They're
They're all
all
wasted.
drunk.
And they're like, hey, I like Final Fantasy. And they're like, yeah, I like a Disney. And they're like, you guys want to fucking do something? Like,
Yeah, the original Kingdom Hearts is like the result of a drunken hookup between those two
It's gotta be.
companies.
I refuse to believe anything else.
But instead of getting drunk and having sex, they got drunk and signed contracts stating that they'd make a crossover video.
yeah, and then the
game.
next day they woke up and like, motherfucker.
And the Japanese are like, we have made a terrible mistake.
we did.
Nah, but 3 was fucking good. See, one of the things that's always attracted me to those video games is the way Disney's willing to put the money into it to be like, hey, you're doing this movie and this movie? All right, here's the voice actors from this cartoon. Like, you're getting the real voices, not cheap imitations. You're getting the Disney licensed characters.
Yeah, I like that. They don't.
And
they
it's
don't half-ass
fun.
it.
It's super... The third one, my biggest problem with it is it was too goddamn easy. I died once my entire playthrough, and that was during the final boss.
And
I
see-
died once, and I was like, oh, I see where I fucked up. And then I learned the pattern and just fucking
Figured it out.
curb stomped him the next game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Like, I think the one thing I enjoyed the most, and it's just going to sound very repetitive, just silly, is just the environments. Like, just very simply, the environments were what made that game. It was like when you were in, what's the frozen place called?
Norway. We'll just call it Norway.
Yeah. Arendelle.
Arendelle, that's
yeah,
right.
when you're there, it's just like, oh, fuck. Like, we're there. And then you're in Toy Story Land. You're like, I'm in Toy Story Land. And it was just like, that, to me, that's what the Kingdom Hearts games have always been. And they
hell yeah.
They totally, like, outdid themselves this time around. Like,
It was a weird flex, though, that they literally put the entire Let It Go song in there.
yeah, that
It's
was
like,
a little bit much.
I think you need to know your audience.
like-
The guys who play Kingdom Hearts probably aren't the same guys who want to see PS4 rendered edition of Let It Go in
I
its
think that's where
entirety.
you're wrong. Those are exactly the type of people that'll jerk off to Elsa. And
Well,
now
yeah,
she's,
yeah, did you see-
She's singing it in the game. They're like, oh, yes, 3 minutes.
Did you see the tweet going around? Oh, God, I don't know who sent it to me where someone
I
was-
don't use Twitter, you know this.
Well, it was going around on like social media in general. It was like someone had said that they'd found a screenshot of Elsa's feet, and someone was like, "Send me the screenshot. Send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me." It's just like the amount of comments that came back. It was just like, I did not realize that many people wanted to see.
I want to be
Digital
surprised.
foot fetish.
But fuck, man. The internet's a...
weird.
Weird
Well, not
place.
just a foot fetish, but a Elsa from Frozen foot fetish. Like that's
No other feet will quench my thirst. It has to be hers.
She does have some nice feet.
I was gonna make a
Get
joke.
out of here.
I was gonna make a joke from
You're
the,
done. You're out of the podcast.
Gonna make a joke
It's
from the
my
second
podcast,
movie,
you
but-
asshole.
Well, I'm commandeering it because of your fucking anarchy.
I've been mutinied.
Well, you guys haven't seen the second movie, so I won't make my joke about
I
that.
have not.
But,
No.
but yeah, going back to Kingdom Hearts, they really just nailed all the environments, and the music was great.
They did. I'm trying to see if I can remember because I only played through it the once, and then I started on trying to get Tyler through the whole series. But it's
That's a big mistake.
we're gonna get there.
No, I'm just
We
saying.
may not play all the side games like the card battling game and whatnot, but we'll get there.
Just no.
But there's Arendelle. There's The Land from Tangled,
Mm-hmm.
Toy Story 4, or Toy Story 3, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess it would be because 4 hadn't been out at that point. Yet.
Trying to think, Monsters?
Yes.
Is that this one?
Yes. Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. There's
What were the
Monsters.
other ones? Those are the 4 that I can remember.
So Toy Story, Monsters, Arendelle, Pirates.
They go back to fucking Pirates, and I hate that shit.
That's where I get. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't finished the game because I got to the Pirates mission.
I remember you telling me about
and I
that. You
just got
died a couple
fucking
times, and you're like,
frustrated,
meh.
and then other games came out, and I've never gone back. So with this podcast, I definitely think I need to go back. And
Pirates is a weird one because, like, that's been in the second one and the third one, and I'm always just like, really? That, of all the worlds, that's the one you choose to go back to?
It's because it's not that like special. Like I like Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's like it's a pirate world. It's not like something fanatical or different, like the Monsters world or the Toy Story world or
Monsters one was fun, though, getting to ride on the doors.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Monsters is one of my
Oh,
favorites.
Big Hero 6 was another one.
Oh, that was the last
That one
one.
was kind of dumb because it was super open world with not a lot to do.
Yeah,
like
it
being
was-
able to get around San Francisco like that.
San Francisco. So that was a pretty good one too. Another one I thought about, again, you'll talk more about this one, is Resident Evil 2, the remake.
All three of us have something to say about that because all three of us have played it. None of us have beat it though.
Okay, well that helps. I'll start because I just rented it, so I only played it a little bit.
I own it, and I regret owning it, honestly.
Really? Okay. It's one of the. I don't usually get jump scared anymore, but that game gave me a pretty decent jump scare.
Really?
It was a very simple one though.
Whose campaign did you play?
Leon.
Okay, yeah, that's the one we played too.
Leon's my man. Like Resident Evil 4 is my favorite game, or probably my favorite.
He's a lot cooler in 4 than he is in 2. He's a fucking nerd in 2.
We need to do a podcast just discussing 4 because I could talk about that game for hours.
I think that's the only one I haven't played.
I
in
got
the
an
main
interesting story about that one.
Oh,
too.
we gotta
Yeah.
get Mike to play through Resident Evil 4 when he gets to
It's been released more than Skyrim.
I know, but I never had a GameCube is the problem.
Oh, it's been
And
on every system.
I know, but by the time it came out on the other systems, there were other Resident Evil games that were newer that I cared more about.
And see, I've gone
Like Raccoon City.
I played
Wait,
Operation
fuck
Raccoon
Raccoon
City.
City. Yeah, that's the
Fuck
one.
that game.
That's the Operation Raccoon City. That's the
That's the
one where
rail
you.
shooter.
That one.
Yeah.
What was the one? I thought Operation Raccoon City was the one where you play as like random folks in the town that are trying to survive during the apocalypse.
I don't know. See, we're all on different because I thought it was the one where you play as the operators, from the Umbrella Corporation.
That is right. I said it wrong. There was
It's like a Gear style
No, I know which one that
thing,
is,
yeah.
but what was the? Or am I thinking
The
of
rail shooter? I
Like
can't
Resident
remember.
Rail
Evil
shooter was on the
Case
Wii. Yeah, it was on the
Files
maybe.
or something like that? Because there was like 2 of them where you played as several people, and it takes place during Resident Evil 2, and you're actually in Raccoon City
Wasn't
as the
that
outbreak's
Revelations?
happening. Maybe.
I
thought Revelations was the
you
rail
playing
shooter.
that though, because that wasn't that one. No,
It was a
now I'm thinking
multiplayer
the one on
one.
the fucking boat.
That one. That was a
that's
weird
code-
rail
that's
shooter.
code-
Oh my god,
not
Resident Evil's gone off the rails.
Is that Code Veronica?
No, Code
Or
Veronica is the one
Veronica?
that takes place on the
No,
island.
No, I know the boat one you're talking about. That was.
And it's got the big old lizard frog
yeah,
things.
fucking-
Like,
That was a rail shooter, though, wasn't it? Just
No,
like
no,
a
no,
point and
that
shoot.
was-
that was a over the top fucking
Mhm.
Resident Evil game. I remember because
God.
you let me borrow that, and I thought that
do.
was pretty fun.
I remember
But
playing that with my friend up in his house in Leadville, and I just, God, what was the name of it? It was a guy and a girl.
fuck.
Yeah.
That
Okay, we're
game
getting
played
off
more
track.
like
Anyway,
a House of the Dead
Maybe
than
we'll
anything,
just
though.
do a Resident Evil podcast. one
Like
of these
trying to
days.
fucking untangle the whole shitstorm that is its continuity.
And then we'll talk about the movies. which are far superior to the I'll stop talking.
But yeah,
We'll toss you out the goddamn window if you keep this up.
What do you eat you like a door?
but yeah, Resident Evil
Let's
2.
not bring that up again.
I like the theme that they're remaking this game, but you made the comment the other day about.
I got this comment from Tyler that it's a scavenger hunt.
Well,
That's all
no,
it
no,
fucking
not
is.
that, not that. Is that like I said, I like the remake theme. Is that the remake for the first one is really not that good, and then this one is much better.
It was built from the ground up, whereas the first HD remake, which came out like before full HD was really a thing, is they just boosted the graphics on it
Right.
and didn't change a goddamn thing about it.
And the thing is, who else did that? Gears, when they did Ultimate Edition. They kept the base, mechanics, so it still played like the first game, but they built the graphics from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did for Resident Evil 2. And although I'm not a huge fan of that game,
Right.
I, like Scavenger Hunt, I hate backtracking.
But that's just the game.
I know, and that's
yeah.
why I can't get into games like that because I fucking hate backtracking.
But see, that's what
well,
you like
especially when
for,
the enemies
right?
don't
yeah,
respawn.
exactly. And they don't respond. But anyway, I digress. It was a gorgeous fucking game.
It really
Like
was.
just the visuals and like
Voice acting was
even
a
that
hell of a lot
dude, that
better,
opening
too.
scene,
X
the
going
trucker eating.
Oh, yeah.
No, even that trucker eating a hamburger. You're like, that looks fucking delicious.
Like, damn, I
Like-
want a burger now.
That-
But
yeah.
it was really detailed, and the gore was
Yeah.
fucking.
They nailed
Cutscenes
it.
were the best part of that game, though.
They were.
Like watching the helicopter crash into the police station.
Yep.
Mwah!
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And just that first act when you're just in the police station, just the aesthetics, just like it's beautifully creepy. Like you
Yes.
like you just feel like just everything looks good, but you're still just like every corner
And
you
I
turn
think
around.
that's what adds to the creepiness more, because I remember playing Resident Evil 2 back in the day, and yeah, it was creepy, but seeing it like visually horror like that, like just the realism of it, you're like, oh fuck, we're in a fucked up fucking
This is
position
messed
right
up.
now.
Yeah, because like when you are like on the PS1 version, it's still kind of blocky, so it kind of takes you out of it a little bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Well, nowadays it does. Back then it certainly didn't because you'd never seen graphics like it.
Right, and that's exactly it. It's like our brains have become accustomed, and we're so used to graphics being so good. It's like things
Like with what was it, Spyro?
Yep.
Like when that game came out,
Mhm.
when the Reignited one came out last year, like that's how you imagined it when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And how it looks
That
now, you're like,
good.
that's what it looked like when I was fucking little.
And then
I've
you go
never
back
thought
to that
of
original
that.
one, you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you thought it looked.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I love going off on a tangent again.
No,
But-
it's all good. That's
But
what
yeah,
we're
Resident
for.
Evil 2 was another really, really good one this year. What's
Do you have any honorable mentions, ones that you'd like to shout out that you don't really want to talk about?
real quick, I'll
Where's-
throw two
where's he
in,
at?
and just kind of a comparison of
There he is.
Madden 20, which I've been a pretty big Madden fan since like
I used to be the
2010.
biggest Madden fan up until about 15, and then I just got tired of paying $60 a year
That's where
for the
I-
same fucking game.
I was
Still
kind of
betrayed me, and I don't want to talk about it.
For which
Yeah.
one, 2K?
Yeah,
Why?
because we'll save that.
To
for-
be fair, I had already purchased a digital copy before you sent me that link about the loot box and the gambling and all that shit.
it's literally gambling.
And but you know how fucking most companies
For
are
you,
about.
that's fine. I guess my biggest issue is it's an E-rated game.
Oh, and they have that
it's
is
literally
make it a
fucking-
fucking teen-rated game
Exactly.
at that point.
Teen,
Yeah,
you know. But anyway,
We could do another podcast
that's
about
the
loot
fucking-
boxes, too.
I get heated about that.
But
shit.
yeah, but so Madden was pretty good. I loved Madden series. It wasn't like a giant improvement on the last one, but it was enough to make it fun. But I only rented it for a couple weeks, and then I've been playing Madden 19 still, and it's still just as good. Like it still holds up just fine. And then the one I wanted to kind of compare that to, which was kind of like the biggest disappointment of this year, was WWE 2K20. And I'm sure pretty much if anyone's listening to this, they know exactly what I'm
What a
talking about.
dumpster fire that
You don't
fucking
even have to
game
know
was.
anything about wrestling. If as long as you know about video games, you all know how big of a fucking mess that thing was. And it's really disappointing because like if you go back to like before 2K took over the WWE games, they sucked. They didn't always suck. Like if you go back to like the SmackDown versus Raw era,
Oh,
they
the
were pretty
N64
good.
games were all fucking dope.
Yeah, and then there was like some like on the 360 and PS2, like Here Comes the Pain,
Raw's War.
Raw's War. Like there's some really good ones. So like when 2K took over a couple years back, I think they started on
They did that like 15 or 16,
13
right?
or 4. No, 13 was Punk. 14 was
Stone Cold, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. So I think it was 14 they started off, because 13 was the last one that was done by Jax, and it was terrible. And I have all of them, so we could do like a video someday trying to compare all of them. But yeah, so it was like really cool when 2K came out, because like I remember when they released the first screenshot, it was John Cena and Randy Orton, and they released this photo, and myself included, were like, wait, is this a video game a picture, or is this a real picture? Like, you really questioned it. And so then the game came out, and they've been consistently better over the last couple of years. And like 19 is fan-fucking-tastic. It's like watching WrestleMania. And then this one comes out, and it was just some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. And
That was probably the most broken game I've ever seen on release.
Ever. It's like, you can make all the jokes about it, but honestly, like, it was kind of depressing to me, because it's like I always look forward to these wrestling games, and I didn't even buy it because I was so just disappointed.
I was heartbroken for a different reason, and that reason is because 2K makes the NBA 2K games.
Right.
And so that scared the shit out of me. Like, if they're going to fuck up their wrestling game that bad, when are they going to do that to a 2K game that I pre-ordered?
Listen, even though I'm nothing against you guys, but with Madden 2K, like, I think it's all recycled bullshit every year.
Oh, it really
But
is.
There's no way that, because I follow a YouTuber, shout out to Call Me Kevin. I follow him. He's a fucking funny dude. But he does.
Is he the one who did the loot box video that you sent me?
No.
Hey, guys, my name is Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, I watch
he's
him
the
all the
Irish
time.
guy.
Yeah, fucking love him.
He turned me, because I didn't know. Fuck, we were just. What's it called?
Madden?
Madden, football.
No, the wrestling one.
Oh,
2K.
2K.
Anyway, he's been going a playthrough through that game because I didn't know that fucking game. I haven't played a wrestling game in I don't know how fuck. Maybe
Probably
since
the
05.
N64 era.
Nah, it was a little later than that. It was probably Xbox.
See, I
360
stopped
era.
like right after the N64 era, and like around 2K15 started getting back into it.
Fair enough. Where's it going? Oh, yeah. He's been playing through that game, and you're right. Like, you'd think some people out there would just kind of give a shit, but like just with the cutscenes, it's just so barren. It's so unfinished.
Broken, yeah.
It's so and he picked like super long hair, and every scene the hair is just it looks like fucking Medusa's hair. Like, it's
like the
fucking
physics
bad.
just
the
fucked
physics
up.
don't give a fuck.
And
Like
like all-
the developers, like
And like a whole bunch of like the superstars and stuff, they like posted like pictures of like themselves in the game, and they're like, "Fuck you, 2K." Like, what the fuck, man?
I didn't know that. That's
They
even
didn't
better.
directly say "fuck you," but
Well, it's like, hey,
probably like,
what's
what the
up
hell
with
is
that?
Renee, shout out to Renee Young. She posted hers, like her photo. And she's like, and it happens every year. She's like, I forgot how she worded it, but she's like, every damn year with 2K. She's like, I look like shit. Thank you so much.
You look like a man.
And you
She
know,
does.
normally I'd be like, that's kind of petty, and you're a little shallow. But you look at that game, you're like,
I'm
wow,
so
they
sorry.
did everyone dirty in that game.
And that's just the thing that's like you said, the recycled bullshit, and that's true. But it's like, it's fine to recycle it, but it's like, you look at 2K19 and then you look at 2K20, and it looks like 20 is from like.
Oh, I
4
saw a
years
comparison
ago.
video of like the rock graphics of last year's game versus this year's game.
It's horrible.
It's a huge downgrade.
You know what it makes me think of
Yeah.
is because my career for NBA 2K, they always do like a story for your My Player.
Yeah.
And this year, that story was produced by LeBron James's production company.
Sorry.
So what it makes me think is, like, they signed LeBron's production company to help them make that, and so like, all right, 95% of the staff, you're on NBA 2K20 this year. The rest of you guys, good luck with WWE.
They're sitting there going, they close the door and they're like, we are so
Oh
fucked.
fuck! Oh fuck! We are gonna be so fired, man.
I've got kids! Just jumps out the window.
Well, this game is
That's
fucked.
the only thing I can think of,
That's
because
the only
other
explanation.
than the loot box gambling that pissed me off too. And honestly, I probably would have returned 2K20, but I'd already paid for it. And you know how fucking weird the rules for returning a pre-order, digital game.
It's bullshit.
Like, that was the main reason I kept it. I was like, I've already paid for it, and I know no matter what I do, they're going to make it damn near impossible for me to actually return it.
That's how I was with Anthem and GameStop, but I... Woosah, Tyler, woosah.
But yeah, 2K20 is...
Fucking hate Anthem.
that 2K20 is one of the games I want to talk about, because I've been playing it since 2K15. It's about
In
4
regards
years
to
now.
you're saying that it's one of your favorites this year? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Hey, I'm not here to judge.
no,
We all have
but
our own
like
opinions.
having played it since 2K15, this game it plays the most like a real basketball game when you're actually in the game than ever.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like with no matter what kind of character I would make, if I had the ball, I could cut down the side of the court and then cut in towards the basket and almost always automatically get by my defender, run that in for a fucking slam. But the AI defense in that game is fucking fantastic. It'll adjust to you mid-game and shit like that. And on top of the graphics look good, they're kind of easing up on the realism aspect of it, so I can have a purple beard now. I can be a white guy with a giant-ass 70s afro and purple hair.
Right.
You know, they're getting back more into letting you have fun while also making it a serious basketball game. And also, while I'm still trying to find a solid group of friends to do it, the way they do online where you can like squat up with your friends, go to the park, which is apparently the neighborhood and every NBA player in the world lives in, if you believe 2K.
LeBron, what are you doing here?
But yeah, you can meet up with your friends. You can actually go play street ball with people. They have a pro AM. They have competitions you and like 4 friends can enter that will pay out money. And there's just a bunch of different modes to play on the 2K games that keeps it interesting to where I always want to come back to it. If I get bored with my player, I can go do my league or the my team, which I wasn't really sold on card-based games because Madden has Ultimate Team.
Yeah, yeah.
But I started getting into it this year, and it's a lot of fun because I can have like a Vince Carter on my team with a Shaquille O'Neal and a LeBron James and an Anthony Davis. So I just have like these dream squads, and like Vince Carter's a perfect example. That man had some of the sickest dunks in the NBA ever, and a 20-plus year career. I think he's still playing this season.
Really?
Yeah,
That's impressive.
and just it's a lot of fun, and I think it gets a little better every year. So shout out to 2K.
The more you've been talking about it, you and Maya, it's like been making me like, maybe I should look into that. But you guys are both on PS4, or no, wait.
No, I have it for the PS4 and the Xbox now.
I might have to look into it.
I bought it again specifically so I could play Maya when we're not in the same room.
Okay, I might have to look into getting
Hey,
that.
that's fair.
I'm really competitive with him on that, and it sucks because after all these years, he still kicks my ass like 7 times out of 10, and I've gotten better about like losing my temper when he beats me by 20, 30 points, but it'll still happen from time to time.
I think that would make some good streaming content actually, especially if you played
If I
against
was
each other.
coordinated enough, like I love basketball, but I'm just not good with like. I've never been good at sports games. Straight up,
That's fair.
I like watching sports, but the sports games themselves, like unless they're.
That's like I
sound
love
like fucking monkey brain button masher kind of guy, but like Blood Bowl, love that game because it was like orcs and elves and shit, like kicking the shit out of each other in football.
What?
Like, yeah, no, it was fucking awesome.
What? That sounds great. That
Or
sounds
what
like
was that other one that
the NFL Blitz games
the
from back in
Blitz.
the day.
Yeah, those games.
Not Blitz the League.
Not Blitz the
Blitz
League.
was cool because
Yeah.
you got to do stuff like I'm gonna take fucking steroids and
Yeah,
shit like
but
that.
No, where you
Blitz-
they basically
fuck,
kill the
man.
quarterback every
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, or
Just
you
that
get like a
kinda
solid
shit.
30 seconds after the play's ruled dead to just keep tackling the motherfucker.
Makes me rock solid.
No, that shit was great. I wish they would make another game like that because my biggest problem with the Blitz games was you had like 10 plays to select from, period.
Yeah.
Like if they could go in depth with the way Madden does, where you're like, I'm going to call this formation, I'm going to come out under center, not back in the shotgun, and like do all that plus the brutality of NFL
Be
Blitz.
awesome.
Fucking sold. That I'd tell EA to go suck a fucking just play that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I feel like with today's reboot era, it's possible. I remember with that game, and I don't quote me, but I feel like there was something that you could easily do in the arcade versions to glitch that game to basically play it like unlimited. I remember something about that. Like
Family Guy made a joke about that one.
maybe that's what.
Yeah, it
See,
was
okay,
Family Guy.
okay,
Yeah.
I knew I was remembering something that you could just play it fucking forever. But yeah,
See, you know why they probably don't make those Blitz games anymore and why the Blitz the Leagues sucked? It's because that exclusivity deal that motherfucking
shit.
EA has with
Sorry.
the NFL.
Sorry, people at home. It's not an earthquake. It was
What
my
is
big ass
it?
fucking foot. Sorry. What's going on?
Oh, I was saying the reason why we don't get blitzes anymore is because of EA's exclusivity deal with the NFL,
Oh yeah.
which is why there's no competition and why Madden sucks donkey dong these days.
There is no competition, and fuck, we've delved into just
See, that's why I like NBA 2K at least, is because there's no exclusivity deal for the NBA, which means, as much as I hate them, EA can still make NBA or EA NBA Live games every year and use actual NBA teams. And so, as much as I hate EA, if those games keep getting better, that's going to force 2K to keep getting better to stay competitive, that's what we need.
That's what the industry needs.
Like, I don't know when or if that contract will ever be up between Madden and EA, but if it comes up and then 2K was like, we're going to make...
Remember when they used to make...
NFL 2K, whatever.
Remember when they used to make 2K?
I never played them, but I do remember it.
Great. Like NFL 2K5 was one of the best football games ever created. It was when fucking... What's his name from the Eagles was on Donovan McNabb was like on like when he's on the cover of that game.
Yeah,
that game kicks so much ass.
I've heard good things about the old NFL 2K games.
2K5 I mean that was one of my favorites. It's gonna sound I want to say I've always been good at video game or at sports video games, but I've always really liked playing them. Like there's some games I just won't play because I suck at them, but sports games are the one where I'm like, no, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to get good at this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, racing games are kind of like in the middle of that because, I don't know, some people consider racing to be sports games, some don't.
I mean, it technically is a sport, but I don't know. I like the old Need for Speeds, like Hot Pursuit and shit. Yeah. Underground.
I will take that game to my fucking grave. Underground and Underground 2. Fucking... That was peak Need for Speed.
But then you get games like Gran Turismo where you barely breathe on the steering stick and you're spinning out. You're like, fuck this game.
Turismo and Forza went for the realism of racing.
We got to do
realistic.
We got to do a stream with my driving rig because I've got the whole thing set up.
You mentioned that.
I'd be down for that.
Especially
me too.
With drunken streams, that could be.
Fucking A.
Because there's like one course in particular that I've pretty much fucking nailed, and with the full setup, like I can just do this thing really perfect. So it'd be fun to see all of us go through it and see if we could get records.
Record that shit, especially when we all get pretty liquored up to where like this was them when they were sober. This is how they drive when they're drunk, and we're doing better when we're drunk.
You're just gonna get
RJ can do high.
Yeah, I'll just
like giraffe ass high.
I was gonna say I'm curious, what's the highest I've ever been around you guys? I think I usually
not very high.
I think I usually keep it pretty normal, so that might be kind of fun.
Usually because we don't plan for us to be here more than 3 hours at a time, and you're like, I'm gonna have to drive. Later.
Right? Maybe we should do an overnight one where we can just
stay as late as we want.
Just do it.
Yeah,
fuck it.
I'm fucking down.
That'd be awesome.
The second game I want to talk about that came out this year, one of my favorites, is and sadly I haven't beaten this one either. It's been a really bad year for me to beat games. But The Sinking City, I was really impressed with that game.
I did not see that one coming. Okay, no, you have piqued my interest, sir.
Well, I loved it because you remember. Way earlier in the year, I got hardcore into playing H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And that game's really fun, but it plays and looks like a game from the Xbox 360 generation.
Yeah, for sure.
And so when they announced Sinking City, they announced it years ago, but when I first saw something about the Sinking City, I was like, that comes out in June? Well, color me interested. Yeah. And, I started to play it, and the graphics still suffer a little bit. Especially, it's one of those open-world games where it's not cinematic at all. It's always in-game footage.
But that one, sorry to interrupt, that one's a detective story, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the one.
I mean, technically, The Call of Cthulhu is as well, but the problem is it's linear, not open world.
This one's open world.
Yeah, it's a sandbox game.
Yeah, which is equally as fucking cool.
And it's got some mechanics that I would love to see in a Batman game where there's there's a map, but there's no waypoints or anything like that. If you get a clue for a case you're working on, you have to read it. I need to go to 2nd and blah 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 avenue. Then you're like, all right, pull up my map. I need to go over there. So you're studying it, okay, so if I go down this way for 2 blocks and then take a left, go up 3 blocks and then take a right, should be able to get there. And so then you just start walking or hop in your boat, and every once in a while you just gotta whip out the map to see where I am right now to make sure I'm still on the right path. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't hold your hand in any way. It's you want to figure out what you're doing, you need to work for it, bitch.
I like that style of nothing's more frustrating when you're starting a game and every single step of the mission. They're telling you exactly what to do, and then like you finish, you're just like, I didn't fucking do anything.
Well, and see, this is one of the things that's my biggest problem with modern day Grand Theft Auto games from like 4 on is the waypoints. So when I'm driving or something, instead of looking at this beautiful world they've built, I'm looking at the fucking mini map to making sure I'm staying
the right
on
way.
course.
Yep, and that's frustrating.
It really is.
They should.
Takes you out of the immersion.
It really does.
And the stupid part is that it is technically realistic because it's like the map. That's
A
what
GPS would do that for you.
Yeah, that's what we do.
But it doesn't speak to you like a GPS, which is the problem.
Yeah, they need to work on that. We'll see what they do with Grand Theft Auto 6. Come on, Rockstar.
But I mean, like, we were just playing GTA Vice City earlier in the day. Back in the day, I had those maps memorized. Like, I could get anywhere I needed to without having to look down at the mini-map once.
That's where I used to be with 3, and like it kind of started coming back towards the end of when we were streaming it. But back when I was a kid, man, you could name a place in that city. I'd be like, okay, and I'd find it.
Again, though, I'm not kidding when I say I put I know it's easier in GTA 5, but I barely looked at the map, like, because after a while, you just like, oh, you're on this street, boom, boom, boom. Like, I played it so much where I recognized every fucking building I was at.
That's
Like,
fair.
And getting up to the track to go to the other side of the fucking, well, technically other state. Like, past up with the mountains where Trevor lives and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's not another state. That's still California.
was it still Cali?
yeah.
Well, they said it was like 3 hours upstate or so. Oh, no, in the game they said it was 3 hours upstate, but it takes you like 15 minutes to drive
Right,
up there.
but no, it's
But-
San Andreas that does 3 different states.
Right. My bad. But either way, it's just, I guess if you like a game enough and you're willing to...
That's fair. And it's not that I didn't like the game enough or anything like that. It's just having the waypoint there as a convenience becomes a crutch for me.
Yeah.
Like, I become to rely on it, and I don't even think about trying to memorize where I am on the streets.
I'm not going to
That's probably
argue that
my
at all.
brain
No, I
more than anything.
fucking A. That's fine.
So, yeah, I talked about all the games I want to talk about with Tyler. You said you had some honorable mentions before you got into your favorite games of the year.
Shit, man.
Drink some more tequila. Me and
I'm
Tyler.
gonna drink some more... No, well, hold on.
Also, pass the tequila my way. I'm ready for another shot now.
No, do kilo, no. I need to do 5 stumpy Trump.
Stumpy Trump. Stumpy Trump. Wow.
So my honorable mentions are, I know I got 2, but the first one is Greedfall. And that, if you guys haven't heard of it, is from Spider Games. It's a open world RPG, third person. Greedfall. Yeah, and I've been kind of watching this game for a while because I fucking love Dragon Age.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They're some of my favorite RPGs.
I've only played Origins, unfortunately. Or, no, Inquisition, sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. Origin was fun. Origin was a shit.
Origins is the original, right?
Yeah, Origin was the original. Second one was... Story was great. Gameplay was ass.
In Inquisition?
No, for the second one. Dragon Age 2.
Oh, Inquisition's
And
third one
Inquisition's
then.
the third one, yeah. And people will probably chastise me for that, but I fucking love 3 more than the other 2, hands down.
That's the one I'm playing right now.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's fucking great. And the
Yeah.
fact that they give you a dwarf as one of the options to pick.
Well, that's for the first one, too.
Well, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying Dragon Age is like one of the only RPGs that gives the dwarf as a class to
That's
play.
who I picked, too. Dwarf Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah! Alright.
Dwarfs, yeah.
No, I'll do, because you did a dishonorable, so I'll probably do a dishonorable later, but...
Oh boy.
Greedfall is really cool because the gameplay is kind of clunky, and it was $40 from the get-go. It's $39.99. So it's not... But... I feel like price shouldn't play an issue in that, but it does kind of show, because it's not at the quality of, like, say... Fuck, I didn't play any other RPGs this year.
Skyrim, though.
Skyrim, no, it's better than Skyrim gameplay-wise. It's
Like Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy, it just kind of, or Darksiders 3.
Okay.
Which I actually just started playing.
How is it so far?
Well, I'm about 15 minutes in, but it's pretty good.
What kind of weapons do you use? Sorry,
She
to
uses
get off
a
track.
chain whip.
I don't know how. I wasn't
Well,
a
you
big
can upgrade
Castlevania
later.
fan. I know, but I'm just saying I don't know how I'm gonna like a chain whip as a weapon.
The only reason I'm playing through 3 is just so I can say I did it and then wait for 4 to come out. Because
I'm hoping 4 will be a. Well, okay, so we need to get to 5 to where you get Because from my understanding of the Darksiders games
Yeah.
is that 2 and 3 take place parallel to 1.
Yes.
Like, they're taking place at the same time 1's going on. I'm like, that's gay. I just want to get to what happens after
no,
war
that doesn't
finishes.
make sense because 2 is about death trying to redeem war.
Yeah, but it's happening at the same time. Like you listen to anybody talking, and they're like, deaths takes place in the years from the opening cutscene to before Hell escapes to kick off the game.
Oh,
because remember they
right.
imprison him for several years.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's when it takes place, is during those years in between.
All right, fair enough. Either way, so it's not on Greedfall is not on that level of gameplay like Darksiders 3, but it's basically a game. And I hate politics. I hate being a fucking. Well, that's why I love Mass Effect though, because that choose your own shit. Like
Yeah, but that's
I can be
more
a dick.
morality than it is.
It's a morality
politics.
thing, yes. But this game is strictly politics because you play not strictly, but it's basically a fantasized version of Europeans colonizing North America.
Really?
Yeah,
that sounds
but because
fucking
it's-
fascinating.
Well, that's what sucked me into it because it's set in that kind of era where they're kind of that revolution style, like with the pompadour wigs and shit. Like
Okay, so it's a little bit after the
it's a
actual.
little bit after.
So it's not buckles on my shoes, buckles on my hat.
Kinda.
Use a blunderbuss to shoot
Okay.
a turkey in the ass.
You got blunderbuss. It's like a combination of that and pirates because you get the flintlocks and the blunderbusses. So it's that style, but then it goes straight fantasy because the land they're trying to conquer has fucking demons, monsters, and it's really fucking cool.
That sounds
And
fucking
it's an honorable mention for
awesome.
me because I haven't beat it all the way through, but it's just a nice change of pace because I'm usually a fucking gung-ho type of dude. Like, I'm like, just the fucking combat.
Right.
But all the side missions are just genuinely interesting. It's not the cut and dry, hey, go kill 10 pigs, get their skins, and bring them back to me. It's like, this dude has a weapons cache that he's hidden on a pirate ship, and, he didn't get authorization for that, so can you go check it out? Kind of shit. It's just really fucking in-depth, cool shit.
That sounds
I guess,
interesting.
I don't know. It's cool to me, but...
No, that sounds fucking
No,
awesome.
and
Is
the
it on
co-
Xbox?
It is on Xbox. It's on every platform. Again, though, the combat's pretty clunky, and you can switch between, or you can pick between, like two-handed swords, heavy armor, light armor, that general RPG shit. But then you can do magic, which I haven't done this playthrough, and usually I'm like heavy armor, two-handed, let's go. But this playthrough, I'm doing one-handed sword, pistols, and light armor for once in
Okay.
my life.
Okay.
But it's cool that you can just pick that kind of shit. So it's pretty fun, and it's got those choices like Mass Effect. It's just fucking cool. But again, it's an honorable mention because I haven't beat it yet. So that's Uno. Second honorable mention is actually fucking Fortnite.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Season 2's been
Season
fucking...
2 has been really fucking fun. Like
How much bigger is the map from season 1? Because I only played a little bit of it during that original season, and I was like, I hate it.
I can't answer that question because I was in that. I would play off and on from.
Because it's been out for like 3 years now,
Yeah,
right?
it's been out for 3 years, 2017. So yeah, 2.5. But it's just those first 10 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They were interesting, but every season they'd add some dumb shit. I'm like, this is really taken away from because I played the original game in 2017, and I thought that was pretty. I liked the concept.
I
It was
played
fun.
like 3 matches
Yeah.
and I hated it,
Well,
and so I
that's
never went back
totally
to it.
fair. I was on and off for 2 years, man, and nothing would hook me because I'd play a couple games because my buddies would be like, "Come on, just play it," and we'd fucking get destroyed, and I'm like, "Oh, this sucks." But this season, not even season, this next chapter, it's just totally different.
It's
I don't
very
know,
different.
man. It's just
Did you play a lot of Chapter 1?
Yes, I did. That's one.
How much bigger is the Chapter 2 map? Because I feel like it's a lot bigger.
It feels bigger. I don't know like number wise, but I definitely feel like it is bigger. I started. Let's see. I started last year around like July or August.
Yeah.
And I was kind of an on and off player because like my boss is really into it, and so I play with her sometimes. But the one thing that I've noticed is I feel like there's a lot less bullshit like with like the kids and stuff this season. like I don't know if that's just been my personal experience and my luck. I just feel like
Fair enough,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
the difficulty's ramped up a little bit.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Like it's kind of taken some people off. So I feel like it's more of a friendly competition. No, not friendly competition. That's the wrong word. It's a fair competition now.
Yeah, and that's where I'm kind of like, I like they did that whole kind of soft reboot shit
Yeah.
because everybody is on equal terms.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, when they started adding all that excess shit, like,
The mechs were cool for about a minute.
mechs are one thing, but then it was that other shit, like,
the portal and whatnot.
portals, and then they added those tubes that I saw, like a fucking gerbil
Where
or
you
a
could,
guinea
like,
pig,
fly
but
around
yeah.
and shit, yeah.
And like they just started going so it just every time I logged in I was like this just looks so loud and crowded.
It was
it's
very
and I like what they did. They just Thanos snapped the game into
literally. I
and
mean,
they're probably gonna do it later on, but for what the game is right now, it's hella fucking fun.
Oh,
December.
So do you think Chapter 2 is going to be as long as Chapter 1, or do you think they'll start rotating it out more regularly to keep it fresh?
I think it's probably they're gonna probably stick with the same model they did last time.
Well, how long did Chapter 1 last for? Like a year and a half?
Year and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
changed
not a
the
bad
map
cycle.
like 3 fucking times though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did a lot, like cosmetically, and they.
I don't know if they do that. I kind of feel like, because Chapter 2's map is fucking huge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was just like. I feel like where it's at now is a great fucking game, but they're gonna get kind of off the wall bonkers like they were with the last season, which could work out fine. Or
if
I
they
don't
come
know.
up with better stuff this time around
Sure,
than they
yeah.
did on Chapter 1.
Yeah, that's 100%. But where it's like I was just saying, where it stands as a game right now, I fucking love it. Like
I do
even
too.
you,
We've
like,
had
I
a
didn't
fucking
even,
blast.
Yeah, and when we were all
Yeah.
playing together,
We
and
gotta-
me and my other buddies, like it's just hiccups. Sorry, it's just genuinely a fucking fun time.
It is.
And people can shit on Fortnite all they want. That's fine.
I did for a long time, and I
Yeah.
honestly regret it because now that I'm playing it, I'm just like, man, I could have been having so much fun with this and with my
No,
friends.
dude, I'm not even a good builder. Like,
Oh, hell
dude,
no.
Oh my god,
No,
my
I'm terrible
6-year-old nephew. I was watching him last night. He's got it on the Switch. He fucking.
Does he do 90s?
Off that 90s, and he fucking toys with people. He's 6, mind you. I watched him. He fucking snipes a guy, breaks his shield. He's like, hey, Bear, watch this. I want to get his attention. Pink! Pegs him. He starts building a fortress, goes over to him, and he's like, watch this. He like puts up a wall, builds a trap. He gets him to come in there, and the trap goes, tick! And I was like,
I need to play with this.
what the fuck? You dirty little man. But it was just awesome. But I think he helped me realize that too, because he's like, because one night he was staying the night. He's like, hey, log on to Fortnite. I was like, why? It's because it's black and it's doing it on my Switch, and I just want to see if it's doing it here.
Yep.
And it was, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was weird as fuck.
So I looked up.
What, were it just the servers
They,
down
no,
or
no,
something?
no, no.
They were resetting it. They were
So-
they were
so like
initiating chapter 2.
At
Oh, fuck, that's cool.
at midnight, they literally went, and everything sucked in, and it just went away. And then for the next couple of days, if you logged into Fortnite, it was fucking broken.
And that's brilliant.
It was
because
ama- the
even me,
internet
I was genuinely curious. Like, well, what the fuck's happening? Like,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it got everyone's attention. Twitter lost their shit. Everyone's photos were like, "What's going on?"
We should have never doubted the company that made the first 3 Gears games.
Hey,
Epic,
you know,
Because the first 3 Gears are fucking great. I'm not having nearly as much fun with 4. I'll be the first to admit it. And don't get me wrong, John DiMaggio is giving a great performance as Marcus, but 4, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm so upset that the swarm are just the locust but mutated.
okay, and I'll try. I'm a gamer. I'll try to wrap this up. So, 2 letdowns this year. Anthem. Bye.
Didn't even give it the time of day.
I did.
Wait, was that the free to play one?
No, it was the $80 one. I
Oh no, I'm
spent.
thinking of
Apex
Apex Legends.
Apex. Okay, that's another animal in itself, because Apex. Shout out to them for changing up the fucking battle royale formula, because that's an enjoyable game. I suck at it, but I like what they're doing with it.
Okay.
But no, Anthem was BioWare's. love
Oh
child.
no, I remember you telling me about how disappointed you were with
Fuck
this game.
me.
Oh.
Dude, after Andromeda, and I didn't even want another Mass Effect game, and because the end of Mass Effect 3 was 2012,
That was
and then they announced late 2016, hey, got a new Mass Effect, guys. and you see the trailer and you're like, that's fucking it. Are you gonna double check that shit?
You're talking about for Andromeda?
For Andromeda. And I honestly, and I
purchased that game
I
twice.
purchased it too, and I wanted so badly to finish it, but I couldn't.
Got bored,
I couldn't. Right? Yeah, the characters sucked except for the Krogan. What was it, Reeve, or what was his name?
I don't know. But he's a young Krogan in this one.
No, he's old as shit. He's even got a spiked beard.
That's right. Yeah.
And I love Krogans are my favorite species.
Yeah, because his daughter works on whatever passes as the Citadel now.
Yeah. She's on one of the ships. And
is it Rex?
It's not Rex. Rex was from the other games. What is his name? Oh, fuck. Drax. No, Drac, not Axe.
Drac.
It's
Drac,
just
Drac.
Drac.
Yeah.
And he was cool as shit. You can't go wrong with Krogan.
No, they know how to write their characters well, but it's the stakes that really fucked up Andromeda. You're like, exploring a new universe?
And
that's
that was
lame. I've already saved the entire universe.
Right.
Start of the downfall of BioWare, and that has been my favorite company because the Mass Effect trilogy, even with the shit 3 ending, that is my favorite series of games of all time.
Hands down.
All time.
It's just,
and
that's the problem though. Like how good that series is and how disappointing it makes the ending of 3 that much more disappointing.
It's
You're like,
bitter.
It was all supposed to mean something.
It was.
And it
was.
Didn't.
And people can say it was EA's fault. People can say it was whatever the hell.
No, because EA had their hands in 2, and 2 is one of the best games to ever be fucking made. That is all BioWare's fault.
It was, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
And that's coming from somebody who hates EA. Like, I will spend all day shitting on them, but you can't blame the ending of Mass Effect on them.
It was a mixed bag for sure. But then again, I'm like, the hours leading up to that ending, because it could take
fantastic.
You like fucking 30, 40 hours.
I think 3's a better game than 2, but it has a worse ending, and that's what kills it.
Yes. Anyway, fucking, and then we go up
we
to
gotta stop
Anthem.
living in the past.
And Anthem.
What was that game even about? Was that a battle royale as well?
No. It's supposed to be an open world third-person shooter, kind of like Destiny. People were comparing those two games like
I didn't like
a
Destiny
lot.
to begin with. So.
Well, not a lot of people did.
I kind of got into it when it first came out.
Well, first game.
Yeah, it was good.
I beat my meat to that game. Anyway, point is,
Sorry.
BioWare is a fall from grace story, and it's sadder to me than it is Bethesda, because Bethesda clearly brought that upon themselves with Fallout 76 and all that bullshit.
Man, fuck Bethesda.
No, and they were the golden child. They were among like Rockstar.
You were supposed to be
Bethesda,
the chosen one.
Like they were up there.
But what's crazy about
And then-
Bethesda is they made games that
Yes.
were broken.
They did.
Like you came to expect it. Like Skyrim comes out, fucking glitches galore. It's gonna be months before it's playable. But once it's playable, you're gonna play the greatest game you've ever played.
Well, and I was at the midnight release of Skyrim, and that was the first legit Elder Scrolls game I've ever played. Because I played
too.
Morrowind and stuff, but
I haven't gotten more than a couple hours into Oblivion or Morrowind. But
That's
Skyrim,
I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm in.
yeah, because it was all about Vikings, especially
Vikings, dragons,
the Jarls,
shouts.
the Nords, like. They're using all lingo from actual
Fucking.
Norse culture and Viking mythology.
Well,
and I'm like, I'm all fucking about it. Like Draugrs. That's Norse mythology zombie.
Anyway, fucking getting sidetracked again.
I
already did a gaming podcast.
Yeah, but that was games that we were excited for in the coming year. And I don't think any of those games that we said we were excited for made it onto this list.
That's part 2 of my disappointments. Because Anthem, it speaks for itself. You watch any fucking gameplay trailer,
and it's
barren,
letdown.
it's boring, the story sucks. It was so rushed, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. End of story. The second letdown for me, before I get to my favorite, is Gears 5.
And you haven't even beat that yet, so...
I hadn't, and that's why I haven't beat it, because I'm just like...
It's that boring, that makes me nervous.
It's not boring, but there's so much lost potential. Like, Gears is... It's a tie. Well, okay, I said Mass Effect was my favorite franchise.
But you've been more about Gears for a lot longer.
Gears
than
came out
Mass
a
Effect.
year before Mass Effect.
Right.
So as far as single-player story goes, Mass Effect. As far as shooters and multiplayer goes, Gears was my jam. Like, I was better at that game than I was at
Mass
Call of
Effect
Duty.
tried multiplayer with 2 and 3, didn't
I
they?
like that, though. I spent hours on Mass Effect 3's multiplayer because that was like a horde mode.
I never did just because I was going through that phase there where I really hated multiplayer anything.
No, that's fair. I liked it. It was just you kick on some headphones. I would always pick the Krogan, so you could headbutt literally the shit out of everything.
Hell yeah, that's that's what's up.
Pick a Claymore shotgun and go to town.
The Claymore shotgun is probably one of my favorite weapons in video games,
It was
man. That
so
thing was
good.
a beast.
It was awesome. So that was okay, but Gears 5.
Didn't they try and sandbox this one?
They did for a few parts, and that's where one of the parts I'm stuck on, because you go through one sandbox, do some missions, which is cool, but then they throw you into another one, and you're like, come on, man. Now it really feels like they're just filling up for time. And multiplayer...
Now, when you say multiplayer, you mean like the Call of Duty style multiplayer,
I mean,
right?
yeah, the versus. I mean, COG versus Locust, or Swarm, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Just the map design, and I am so... what turned me off from the fourth game was the DBs. Like...
Oh, the drone
robots,
bots,
man.
yeah.
And the maps are designed... Like, a lot of them are designed around DB facilities, and, like, I don't like...
I hate
the
robots.
grittiness of Gears being thrown into like a weird futuristic, just the aesthetic alone.
Yeah, it's turned into like a Blade Runner, the video game.
That's exactly it, and I don't like that. And it just
No, I want to
turns
fight
me off.
fucking monsters, bro.
Yeah, I want to be a big fucking roided out man chainsawing a big lizard. So I don't know, man. It's a mixed bag for me because the gameplay is solid, but the map design, the way they're going with this. The direction of the game, and again, like I told you though, there's a part where you...
In 5.
Woo! It's so good.
Did that come out this year though?
Yeah,
or did
it was
that
this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
me and Tyler are gonna be playing it co-op mode once I get through 4, but it's become a slog for me, man, because I don't like playing as JD. It's like I want to be Marcus fucking Phoenix. He's the hero.
I get that, and I get you have to change it, and I honestly did like JD, Dell, and Kate, like in the fourth
I
game.
like them as a group. This is a problem I had with 3 as well as 4, is that
It follows like that 80s action movie arc of like first movie really serious, second
Right,
movie
right.
not as serious, third quips galore. Like
Quips
everybody's
galore.
got a one-liner and everybody's joking. It's
And
like
yet,
I get it.
to
These
me,
guys
the
are
third game was the best in the series.
I'd say 2 for me. Like I liked the third one, but I felt like there was just a lot of shit going on
Story wise,
that didn't
yes. But if
pertain
you
to
ever
the
played
story.
2 online, whoo boy, you were in for a fucking shit show.
Was
It
2 online bad?
It was bad. Well, when it first came out, they patched it, but man,
It's crazy
was
that
so-
the Xbox was so badass back in those days that literally the biggest competition in video games was between Halo and Gears, both Xbox fucking properties. Nowadays, though, nobody gives a fuck about Halo, and very few people give a fuck about Gears of War anymore. It's nuts. RJ, you've been silent for like 15 minutes. Did you die over there?
No, I'm good.
No.
I just don't have much.
Dude,
I
I
haven't
get
played the last
heated.
couple
Sorry.
Years. No, you're good. No, you're good.
Because Gears, again, that's easily...
I've always loved
It's
Gears,
either
man.
1 or 2. I don't fucking know at this point. Because Mass Effect and Gears are both neck and neck.
I'd say, for me, if I had to choose between those two, Gears is number 1 just because the quality of everything they put out past the original trilogy is
Yeah.
better than Andromeda.
Mm-hmm.
By a lot.
Well, then you got Judgment, though.
But that played more like a DLC, and I never paid full price for it, so it doesn't bother me as much.
Bothers me a lot.
Did you pay full price for it?
Oh, well, full price, and I had to play... The campaign was...
Because that's the one that
Okay.
follows Baird, right?
Barrett, he's doing a trial. I thought the idea was cool because he's doing a trial the whole fucking game, which was awesome. But the multiplayer was like, again, because those games, I love both campaign and multiplayer. Probably multiplayer more. But then again...
Well, you've always been good at that shit, so that makes sense.
Well, if you're... Yeah. I don't
I've
want to
always
brag,
sucked
but
at
I'm
it.
like, if you're good at it, it's fun. So, I am good at Gears, and I enjoy it. But what killed me about Judgment's multiplayer was it was COG versus COG, which is they basically turned it into like Halo and Call of Duty mixed, and for a while, it was passable, but then they started adding the goofy skins, like, it turned into a Power Rangers type of fucking deal.
Oh, no.
It was, that's what turned me off, because I'm like, this isn't Gears right now. Like, I should have been turned off by COG versus COG, because that historically makes no fucking sense.
No, what it should have been is been those rebel forces that they were fighting right before E-Day.
The UIR.
Yeah.
Yes. And they have characters you can play as them, but it's literally like you could have Dom versus Dom, or fucking
Marcus
Baird
versus Dom.
Baird, like on opposite teams, and it didn't make any fucking sense lore-wise, because the game has always been Locust versus Horde and multiplayer.
Right.
You change that one aspect, and literally everybody was like, well, what the fuck is this? Like,
Ew, yeah, that does not sound good.
anyway.
Let's move on to your favorite game
Yeah,
of the year.
let's finish it up with your. Or unless you guys have any other ones.
No, that was my biggest gripe.
Cool.
Another honorable mention. Sorry. All right, I lied.
No, you're good.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
That does deserve an honorable mention. 'Cause let's face it, I haven't played since I think either Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 3.
It's just fun. It's fun.
It pisses us off
bitch,
a lot.
Like, the maps are shit, but the gunplay and the, like, unlock... I am a sucker. I love
For that
being able
ranking
to
up and everything,
ranking
yeah.
up and unlocking shit the natural
just
way.
like, oh.
Just through kills. Just, yes, give it to me.
I
When
agree,
you're
yeah.
just like, hey, you can buy this, I'm like, fuck you,
Yeah,
man.
no, I won't even.
My biggest gripe about Modern Warfare, though, is my XP tokens should not be counting down in the lobby. Fuck that noise.
No, that is-
should be in-game only.
That's kind of a shite thing, the shite design, but...
Can you hand me that last Christmas ale,
Yes.
please and thank you?
Because you get 30 minutes total, but then again, like 12% of that time is just waiting in the goddamn lobby. So I get that. But the second I saw this video, and if you guys want to look it up, it's up to you. But it was one of the lead designers talking about because he was designing the 680 shotgun. That was the main focus of the video.
That's
But
the better of the two pump action
that's
shotguns,
my best
right?
gun in the game.
Okay.
I'm a shotgun whore.
Nothing wrong with that.
But just watching him talk about designing the weapons and how they didn't, like, because they bring up mocap. Like, oh, so were the actors pissed that you had to... He's like, no, this is all hand designed. Like, every animation in the new Call of Duty is all hand. Like,
It's not mocap?
It's not mocap. So, and
That's kind of a dead practice, so that's impressive.
And you're watching him, and he's just so passionate about, like, he's like, when you reload this shotgun, we wanted to be like, oh, who's next? Who's next? And you're just like, yeah, you get that feel, and you feel his energy, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, and then you actually play the game. Granted, campers suck ass; they can blow me, but it's still, it's the gunplay and the animation. It's just fucking solid.
Nice.
So that's
And you haven't beat the campaign yet, right?
no.
That,
Again, because I'm a I'm a run and gun whore.
Oh, that's fine. Like,
I beat it because, they can get away with it. It's only
shit,
an
just
8-hour
that-
campaign,
I did
but
play
they
the
make
price
up...
part, like that whole scene right there alone.
Oh, the scene I was...
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played it yet. There's a scene where terrorists are attacking Piccadilly Square in London, and you're going through with Captain Price trying to secure the area. They attach a suicide bomb onto a civilian's chest, and you can't get it unlocked, so Price literally throws the guy off the balcony to save all the other civilians that were taken up and tied hostage.
Yeah, yeah.
He kills an innocent just to save other innocents. It's fucking...
I mean-
that moment alone is darker than the No Russian scene from Modern Warfare 2.
It got dark.
Here's
Yeah.
what confuses me, though.
Yeah.
What about
Is
the,
this a prequel to the original Modern Warfare video games, or is it just a soft reboot of the franchise with the same characters?
I think it's a soft reboot because one of the one of the fucking, it says 2019, and
But at the same time, I'm sorry to spoil this for you, but I don't imagine you'll actually ever finish the campaign.
no, I will, but I don't really care.
Okay, you don't care? So the game ends with Price setting up Task Force 141. Like, he's talking to a CIA contact, hands her some dossiers.
So then it is a soft reboot because literally, like one of the first missions, it says February something 2019, And the other Modern Warfare games were set in
Like 2014 or whenever they came out,
no,
right?
7. It was like
7.
2007, 2009.
Jesus Christ, we're so old.
So this is a soft reboot.
Okay,
thing.
because
So-
but the reason why I ask is because one of them is Captain John Soap McTavish,
Exactly. So this is, I think they're ignoring the other ones.
and
then.
just rebooting it
Yeah.
like same characters,
Yeah.
modern day setting.
Exactly.
Okay, and somebody was telling me that there's a rumor going around. The current theory is that Ghost from the original 141
Yeah.
is actually Alex, the CIA guy from this Modern Warfare,
I could kind of see that.
because
yeah.
they think he dies at
Yeah.
the end of the campaign.
Any Hoozle.
Yeah, so that's an honorable mention.
That
We
is
just need
definitely-
your favorite game of the year.
And that is Borderlands 3.
Really?
No
Oh,
joke.
wow.
I
Yeah.
really need to play that game.
It surpassed every expectation I had. 2 was my favorite of 2012, and those games just hit you. They know who their audience is, and
A bunch of fucked up weirdos like
you know,
us.
yep. And the gunplay was so good. The loot, I'm a loot whore too, so the loot was just there.
Because that's a looter shooter, right?
Yeah, and the story was there. It made me fucking gut bust laugh. It is easily my favorite game this year, for sure.
Nice.
And I don't really need to go into detail because on the surface, like if you've even played a Borderlands game, you know what you're
You
expecting.
know what it's just good.
And since it's been so long, that was 2012 when the second one came out, so it was 7 years, and you would expect the quality to just drop. But
Yeah,
it
like
actually,
they forgot how to make the game almost.
It got better. Granted, Handsome Jack was the better villain than the two twins in this game, but that didn't even fucking matter to me. Like,
Okay.
And I got it with a couple of other friends, and so we were co-oping the whole thing, and it was just a fucking blast. I loved it, every minute of it.
I'll have to check that one out. I think that's a
Hell yeah, I think I've
nice,
gotten some
solid
good
way to end it.
recommendations for...
Yeah. Ended on a positive note.
Oh, fucking A.
Well, real quick before we end for the evening,
Yeah.
what do you guys... What are the games you're looking forward to the most in this coming year?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Put you on the spot real quick, because I know what
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the most.
Why don't you go ahead and start us off then?
Moons of Madness, bro. It's
Okay.
because I'm on this... I've been on a Lovecraft kick for so long, and I just recently saw the trailer for this game. It's a cosmic horror game set on a space station.
That's
And it looks fucking phenomenal.
That sounds
And I'm
amazing.
even more excited about it because as of recently, it's had Call of Cthulhu and The Sinking City to come out. So these guys can look at those games and be like, this is what works, this doesn't. Here's what we need to. Here's the benchmark for the graphics. So what can we make? So I'm just super stoked. I think this is going to be the one that goes from being a Resident Evil sequel to being a Dead Space. By Dead Space, I mean
Rest
one of the
their
most
soul.
one of the most iconic video games to ever come out
Fucking
in
A,
recent,
dude.
well, in living memory, I should say. I stand by that. Dead Space,
Nice.
best fucking video game I've ever played.
Dead Space, yes.
That game to this day, and I played it as recently as last year. That shit scares me. I scream like a little bitch. Doesn't matter if the graphics look dated. It fucking freaks me out.
There's our next stream. We gotta do that one.
It's impossible to find unless you have a physical copy of the original Dead Space.
I have a copy on my Xbox.
You beautiful bastard.
Yeah.
Let's
I will
send
buy
it.
the Kinect so we can stream
Yeah.
it.
Yep. My it's funny. My it's Anthony. He was on my console, signed into his Xbox, and he bought it for his account. And by some weird fucking glitch, it is on my account and his account.
Well, usually if the person who bought it has their account logged in on your Xbox, whoever's on the Xbox can play it.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
So I guess the two games that I would be excited for next year are both PC actually, and that's
Oh.
going to be Diablo 3 is definitely the one
Four?
I'm most. Or excuse me,
Four.
four. Diablo 4.
It's like, oh, 3 remastered again?
Three's coming out again.
Remastered for
Terror
a third
64.
time.
Yeah, so definitely that one. I was not expecting that, and then they just dropped that. That's gonna be
Especially after what happened earlier last year with the
Oh.
y'all have phones, don't
Oh,
you?
they had to go all out
Oh
for that
yeah,
shit. Fuck
I
A.
almost partially wonder if like they did that on purpose to like get the attention on them, and then be like, oh,
See,
by the way,
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like people do that shit. Like
Yeah.
with Sonic.
No,
and-
I don't.
yes,
Sonic, I agree with. No, but that Diablo one, that's the kind of fuck up that you can't plan. That is
There's no
like
way.
the definition of
Blizzard
ignorance.
has been PC for fucking 20 years. Well, maybe not. Whatever.
Yeah.
No, yeah. About. And there's no way they could have been like, hey, if we switch to phones, people are going to be fucking pissed off. And some guy's just like, fuck that. No,
Don't worry about it.
No, I think they semi had to have known.
No, see, my theory of what happened is the suits were like, mobile's where it's at. You need to make a mobile Diablo.
It could have very
and
well
the
been a
coders
suit
were like,
thing, yes.
you don't understand. And then when the day of that presentation comes, they're like, what do we tell these guys when
They
we tell them
panic.
the only thing
There
that
was a
Blizzard's
sense of
coming out
panic.
is a cell phone game? Like, the executives gave you this list of things you can say in response, and the top one was, you have cell phones, don't you?
All right.
And the coders were like, oh, fuck me.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
All right,
Either way,
fine, let's do it.
It was definitely...
It was a cluster.
It was a clusterfuck, and someone
No,
definitely...
I would have to imagine the people actually working at Blizzard designing these games, no malicious intent whatsoever. It's those fucking assholes in the boardroom that fuck everything nice up.
Yep.
Activision.
The,
as soon as Activision bought Blizzard, I knew this shit was gonna happen. Like,
I mean, they killed the Tony Hawk franchise.
all
Rest in
right,
peace, Tony Hawk.
So yeah, that one I'm really excited about, and the other one is actually another Blizzard game, and that's the new expansion pack for Warcraft. That's Shadowlands, because they're doing something really interesting.
Is that an expansion to vanilla or expansion to what already
it's
exists?
to the what
already
Legion.
exists. Yeah.
To Legion. Legion was the last one.
There's
And
so much
so-
to get caught up on.
Well,
with
yes
that.
and
No, it wasn't Legion. It was
or it's Battle for Azeroth. excuse me.
Battle. It was
Yeah.
Legion, Battle for Azeroth, and now it's Shadowlands.
Shadowlands
Which
is
is
the new one.
it was because
It's not out yet.
Which is weird though because they just announced it this year,
Right.
and Azeroth came out like the end of last year.
Yeah.
like
Well,
they're pumping out those.
The weird thing is
hardcore.
what they're doing
It's
is
the only thing keeping them afloat
right now
anymore.
the max level is 120, but when Shadowlands comes out, everyone's gonna get nerfed back to 60. Like you're still gonna have like the same amount of experience and power and everything, but the max level is going to be 60, which I have mixed feelings on because it's gonna make grinding that much more. It's literally gonna make grinding twice as hard.
Yeah.
To get to your next level, twice as hard. And that's cool in a way
Bastards.
because it's like when you finally get to fucking 60, you're gonna be like, ah.
Dude, I honestly forgot about the grind from 1 to 60 in the original game.
Yeah.
It's a trek.
Yeah.
I forgot, because I played at my first experience was technically vanilla, but I played about 2 months before Burning Crusade launched.
Yeah.
Is that the first expansion ever to come out?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I would argue that those Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King are the single greatest expansions ever.
I played
See, I remember all the commercials for Wrath of the Lich King, so I always thought that was the first expansion.
No,
to come out
BC
for-
was that introduced the Blood Elves and the Draenei, which were the two new races for both Horde and Alliance.
I'm learning something right now.
And no, Burning Crusade, fuck. Both of them are close, but I think Burning Crusade is the most fun I've ever had with an
Well, 'cause-
online game.
Yeah,
ever.
because it was Burning Crusade, and then it was what do you call it? Wrath of the Lich. What was it?
I was just gonna ask, how many people could you have in a party for Warcraft games?
You have a whole fucking guild,
As
bro.
many as you want, hundreds.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is, if you two actually end up going back to it, and I join you, we can also get Johnny and Tony and Dustin.
As long as we're all on the same server.
On the same server, doesn't matter.
You can't squad up like normal video games.
You can switch your server over. It's just a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, server is literally the biggest thing. So if we're all joining the same server, there's no issue. Because it used to be Vent, but what was the?
Ventrilo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the?
TeamSpeak?
Is TeamSpeak? Yeah. As long as we all got mics.
Fuck, let's fucking do it. How much is it a month to play?
15.
$15 a month.
But if you subscribe online, it's only $12.99. They give you a discount.
But still, I'd have to get rid of either my Netflix or my Hulu. And I don't want to do that.
I still hold on. This is
here-
all.
here-
I still need to get a PC to game.
That's
this
just
shit.
the thing.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
too.
Same here. I mean, this could probably play it, but I don't want to be here to have to play
No,
it.
we want to all
Right.
be playing on laptops.
Yeah.
See, my laptop my $300 laptop that I own would not be able to fucking handle
No,
it.
we all got to figure out getting into computers, but then yeah, I think we should do it. I think it'd be fucking
Tony,
awesome.
Dustin, Johnny, all of you, pay
Start a
attention.
guild.
Get some new laptops. We're making a guild.
It's gonna be huge.
Because what started this whole thing was I randomly found 2 months of free gameplay in my basement the other day, and I was like, and I checked it. I was like, "There's no way that this is unused." It fucking was. So
It didn't expire?
No, they never expire. Because I played
You
years.
think they'd put an expiration date on it? Because if I was Blizzard, I'd be like, "There's no way this game's gonna last as many years as it's gonna."
Oh, they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Oh, do they?
So yeah.
Are they Bat Dad?
Well,
Yeah.
that was a pretty good podcast, boys. Unless you all got anything more to say.
I just had one game I was
Go
excited
for
for
it.
next
Go
year.
for it.
And that's Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes. Okay.
I thought
Okay.
that was coming out this year with all the hoopla that was coming up when they announced Keanu Reeves and shit like that.
Next year.
Next
You know what?
year.
That's fine. CD Projekt Red can take all the time in the world because Witcher 3, one of my favorite RPGs out there.
Still need to beat it.
I'm always down
But
for
Cyberpunk gets
Do you
my
have it?
weenie hard. I do have it, actually, yeah.
Then yeah, play it, man. It's great. Like it's Skyrim but with more story.
Yeah. No, fuck, someone was saying that one of the side quests in Witcher 3 takes longer than fucking
The main story,
the main
yeah.
story and like
It's fucking awesome.
Well, any other RPG, yeah.
And I just recently, because I had the money and it was a holiday sale, got the complete edition of The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So I have like 15 hours of
Well, like with
DLC
the Blood and Wine
content to
DLC and stuff like that.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I need to finish that game. Sorry for anyone listening that I know what a fucking pleb I am for not finishing Witcher 3.
We're all a bunch of
I'm in the
plebs.
same boat. I didn't finish it either.
Oh, since you both ended up talking about most disappointing games of the year, I would like to mention Jedi Fallen Order. I was severely disappointed with that game.
Really?
Salty as fuck.
That's sad to hear.
It's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting story. That combat is straight up unwashed, unwiped
it
booty
kills
hole.
me because people are literally. Listen, shout out to Respawn. I know we don't shout out because Respawn did Titanfall. Like they were a company that worked on Call of Duty but left, and they started Titanfall, which was a launch for the original Xbox One,
Right.
which was like 2014.
And that was an interesting game because it was like the multiplayer of Call of
fucking-
Duty, but you could also
Turns
get into
out
mechs.
I was a god at that game too. I turned it off. I was like, in mechs, that's an overplayed fucking thing. Whatever. You play it and you're like, I'm good. Titanfall 2 came out and they added a campaign, and it made me cry. It was like Respawn is
Cry in
one-
a good way or cry in a I
a
hate
good
this
way.
why okay.
It was phenomenal.
Okay.
The storytelling was great, and I think Respawn needs more recognition because they were also behind Apex, and then I know I dissed on them for that pack they did a while ago because of EA, and it's all money bullshit, whatever. But this one, I know you're about to dog on it, but it is single player, and they didn't add loot boxes. So I'm like, kudos to Respawn for just...
Wait, Respawn made Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that was them.
No, it's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
And
I just wanted to defend it before you tore it a new asshole.
No, that's fine. And I'm not really gonna
And I probably won't ever play it, because I'm not a Star Wars fan.
And I'm not really gonna dog it on that much. I just hate the combat system because it focuses on a very The Witcher, Batman Arkham series, Spider-Man style of combat. Very defensive heavy, a lot of parrying, a lot of dodging. But unlike those games, it doesn't have like any warnings, even on the easier settings, for when you're supposed to parry. Like Batman and Spider-Man, you get like those squiggly lines popping up by your head indicating, hey, fucko, parry, block, do all that shit so you don't get hit. You know what I'm talking about because you
I
played
know
all
what you're
those
talking
games.
about, but then I'm like, well, the point of those Souls-like games is to be good, Michael. So maybe you just need to get
Yeah, but
good.
well, see, that's fine. But my problem with that is this is a Star Wars game, and according to George Lucas himself, all the way back in the year of 1999,
Yeah.
Star Wars is a franchise for kids. Maybe ease them into that a little bit. You don't want to make the kiddies cry and the grown men throw the Xbox through the goddamn wall. Do you understand where I'm coming from with this?
Well, now I kind of want to play it just to see what the fuck you're talking about.
Because you know what? I've played Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And I've played...
I couldn't get through it.
No, what was the other one? It was for PlayStation...
Bloodborne?
Yeah, Bloodborne. I played those, and I never beat them, but I also never wanted to throw my controller because I knew going into it that was what I needed to expect. Like, it's gonna fuck you in the butt, and you better be prepared for that. But Star Wars,
Alright.
no mention of that. No, nothing. So it's like getting surprise raped instead of going in and expecting to get raped. And that's where the fury is.
Jesus. All right. I mean, I guess that's fair, but now you have intrigued me.
The
because
story's interesting, don't get me wrong. The acting's good, the mocap's good,
Yeah.
and everything about it looks good except for the fucking Wookiees. I've sent you both pictures of that. They look like hairy spaghetti noodles with dreadlocks, and it fucking terrifies me.
In the Fallen Order?
Yeah,
You
it
haven't
looks
sent
like they ran out of money before they rendered the Wookiees.
You have to send those to me. You haven't sent those to me yet.
Oh, fuck yeah, I will send that to you
Yeah,
because
that's
it's terrifying.
That's horrible.
But yeah, that's the one game that I found myself disappointed in this year. And even then, I wouldn't say it's like fucking terrible. It's no Duke Nukem Forever. Just don't pay $60 for it. Wait till it goes down in price.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty.
Well,
Alright.
that was a good year. Well, it was a.
It wasn't a very good year for video games.
It really
so-
wasn't. It really wasn't a
not.
lot.
And you know
choose
what? I
from.
was expecting that. After last year with Spider-Man, Red Dead, and God of War all coming out in the same year, I was like, yeah, 2019 is going to fucking suck for
It
the
did.
industry.
It did.
Two of those being fucking PS4 exclusives.
Right.
Meaning, that year I actually bought a PS4 to play 2 of the 3 fucking games.
And you played all 3 of them.
I did. Well, yeah, because they said PlayStation would have earlier access for shit on fucking Red Dead. But bottom line, those 2 games made me actually buy a new fucking console to play those games.
And they were worth it, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
God of
fucking
War
yeah.
and Spider-Man are fucking 10 out of 10 games.
Fucking, si perfecto.
And the DLC
fucking-
that came out for Spider-Man this year, fucking
I
magical.
I sold it, mine.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
you
I
guys.
sold mine before I could play the
If
other
you
ones.
ever want to play the DLCs, I
Yeah.
got that shit over here. You
Yeah.
can log back into your fucking account and shit.
Fair enough. Either way, that was a great year for games. This one was
It was okay.
passable.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I wouldn't say that like I'm ready to give up on the gaming industry now.
No, it just
Yeah.
was kind of mediocre.
But there was definitely
Yeah.
nothing as memorable as any of those 3 games from
No.
last year.
Not at all.
And I know there's more. I had, because I felt like you guys were going to ask that question, like, what are you excited for next year? And 2077 pops up the most to me.
It's because everybody's fucking talking about
well,
it.
and it just, if you've seen the gameplay, oh my god, it's just,
it looks gorgeous.
woo! Yeah, but I know there was a couple more where I'm like, that's awesome, but I can't fucking
Moons
remember
of
right
Madness is gonna be tits.
well, a year from now, we'll be doing the same podcast, and we'll see what we say.
now. Fucking A.
roughly a year from now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
But hey, thanks for listening to us fucking ramble for, how long have we been doing this?
Oh, over an hour and 20 minutes. But
Oh, okay.
One of these days, I'm going to remember to say this shit at the beginning of the podcast. But if you made it to the end, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you always know when we got new shit coming out. We got
Fucking A.
sketches, short films, all kinds of shit here on Hamfist Entertainment. Like our Hamfisted Gaming, because we do a weekly group stream. I'm going to get better in trying to get these guys to do their own solo streams as well as doing my own solo streams.
That we can talk about that.
But yeah, please. We're desperate. We're trying to build an audience here so we can.
See, desperate.
We're fucking desperate.
Listen.
Tyler's not desperate.
That's
need
not
you.
how you drag people into your
No,
podcast.
we just want good people to enjoy.
No,
it.
we're just trying to have fun and we want people to come party with us. That's all that really comes down to.
Yeah, our streams are pretty fucking funny, so check us out.
I think we have a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and we just want more interaction when we're doing these streams and shit like that, because being able to answer viewers' questions and shit like that when we're doing it is so much fun.
Fucking A.
But yeah, otherwise, other than all that bullshit, thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next week when we talk about either
Also,
our favorite horror films
hey,
or our favorite regular films.
If you heard the podcast all the way through and you loved it, you liked it, you subscribed it, whatever, fucking leave a comment saying what your favorite video game was of the year. And
exactly,
fucking,
we would love to hear what you think.
Yeah, let
fucking
us
A.
know.
And who knows, maybe we'll read your comment in the next video, son.
Fucking A.
All right,
Good one,
we
y'all.
out. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Deuces.